Nah, not really. Well, maybe if I close this.
Here, hold on. I'll tell you. Close that one.
Close this.
I'll put it up. No, put it up. No.
Open it?
Yeah, the half, like a quarter.
Gotcha. Why does it look so kind of like foggy? Is it the screen itself? Go do your thing.
You could also do this. Look at okay. You could do this screen. You should be able to. No, you can't do that.
Is this like a function here, maybe? Does that help or make it better? Oh, that actually helps, huh? Or no? No.
Let me see. Open the screen.
Just regular? That's good like that, right?
Do more. No, up. There. No, down. Right there.
Okay, thank you. Welcome in, friends. I gotta get to the YouTube channel where I can put the thing up. You want to turn the light on and see if that helps?
Do you want to maybe sit right there and have this be your background, or? I think this is better than that.
Okay, well, move it and I'm just doing this real quick. Welcome in, friends. Welcome in. Chicken. What are you doing?
See, that's much okay.
I'm gonna move right over here, friends. Give me a second. Oh yeah, that's better. Scott, how you doing? It's gonna be a chill stream today, friends. Got the Bears playing. Biz. Ah, yeah, that's better. Welcome in.
I got you.
Thank you, mommy.
I used to stream here sometimes too.
Really?
I stream here standing up though. Will it tell you if the music is too loud?
3.1 subs. Yeah, it was with me. It's fine like how it is right now. Maybe I gotta close the door or something, but I don't hear anything. Love you. Christina Shepard, welcome in. Biz, I know, 3.1. It's crazy. Working hard, friends. We are working hard. Sorry, I'm just trying to get all my stuff good on my stream first. I thought today maybe we could talk about the numbers. How we look in our first year of streaming, if that's okay. 3109, friends. 3,109 subscribers. That's crazy. Yeah, baby.
Put on mute real fast.
What's Thank you. Love you. Brian, welcome in. How's everybody doing today? We'll give everybody a minute. How cool is that? Who won? Are the are the Rams still playing right now? I'm about to check. I'm about to go to the NFL website. They could be out, dude. Let's see. Dang. Not today. We were gonna do some cooking today, but everything was kind of tight. And oh, the Panthers are winning by 4 in the fourth. Things just got we needed a day to. We did yard work and we went to go have lunch together, just my wife and I. So, Sharisti, welcome in from India. Go to the restaurant. I'm off. Welcome in, friends. Not today. Sorry, I'm trying to learn the functions on the laptop. Give me a second. We should have timestamps, right? That makes sense. Moderation activity, sure. All right. Yeah, resting day. Yeah, you know, we were gonna do breakfast, but you know, we can make breakfast at home. So we went to go get barbecue pork. It was fire. With crackling rice. It was super good. And pickled vegetables. Welcome in, Sin. It's a chill day until the Bears play. That's all I'm saying. For sure. Biggest trolls. You're funny. Yeah, I was thinking maybe we can get some, we'll start talking about some of the numbers in a minute. This is like a year in review. Let me change the title of the chat. Hold on a second. There you go. Okay. We're good. I'm ready. Yeah. What time is it in India right now? Oh, I forgot to put all the messages. Sorry, friends. I might be missing some messages here. Oh no, I missed some messages. Sorry, friends. Welcome in. There we go. Okay, it said that down here. Watch it from nice. Sorry, there's some new features I'm trying to figure out on my phone that they had. No, that's not it. All right, cool. Green, welcome in. How are you? How you been? Tiger Hoods, what up? Welcome in. Good evening. There we go. I'm not cooking today, actually. Dilbert, dang, they want me to cook. Nah, we didn't get anything today. The timing doesn't permit. The Bears game is starting soon, so. Aman Ali. We're gonna just go over some. We're gonna go over some of the numbers very soon about how we did in our first year of YouTube.
Gross.
Just give it a couple minutes, friends. Gucci. I know, right? It misses me for sure. Huh? That's crazy. I thought I'd give some context today, okay, on what we've been doing in terms of YouTube, in terms of the restaurant with YouTube, and how that all correlates in our first year. Doris, welcome in. How are you? So, I mean, it just seems like a lot of people ask a lot of questions about, you know, the behind the scenes type stuff, and I thought this would be a great opportunity. We just finished our 1 year on Wednesday. We just hit our 1 year mark of posting our first video on YouTube on Wednesday. So that whole year in review, I up until today, we'll just talk about from today, but pretty consistent. Yeah, for sure, Doris. I am. All right, before we dive into these numbers, I'll give it. We'll start at 12 minutes. Does anybody have any questions beforehand? Loud Thunder, welcome in. My little, you look like Bang Chang from Stray Kids. I don't know who that is. How? What, the restaurant? Yeah. We actually opened the restaurant in 2021. We were selling tacos out of our backyard, and it got real popular to the point where the health department came to our house and shut us down. Not because we were cooking food out of our house, but because we had too many people in a residential neighborhood. So the neighbors complained that there was too many cars in the street. So we had to figure it out. And I was running the Cheesecake Factory at the time, at the mall, and I realized that if any time to like try to do something would be like during the pandemic, because my wife and I was still running the Cheesecake Factory, and we actually started door dashing on the side, and that's what we used to like put a down payment on our house. And we realized that like, there's a lot of opportunity to make a lot of money during the pandemic. And when you're an executive for a company that big, the term that I like to use is like a dangling carrot. So they give you all these executive bonuses, car allowance, shares with the company, and all those things were super lucrative. But when I realized that money wasn't really like the driver of what I was doing anymore, and also I lost a lot of time with my family, and then my wife's like family dog passed away of like 17 years, and I asked them, I said, I felt bad because I wanted to be there for my wife as the dog's like, slowly dying on us. I don't know. They just made me feel real guilty about that, and that I just, yeah, we had to put the dog. We put the dog down. But the point that I'm trying to make is that like I shouldn't have felt the way. I shouldn't have to like. There's such thing as work-life balance, and I felt like when that situation happened and when those things happened, I felt like I was at an unfair disadvantage. Babe, did you put straw? Did you put flour in the kettle?
I don't know. I don't.
I think she's outside.
Did you put it outside?
She was outside with Coco. Can you check, please?
What did you say? I'm changing right
Oh,
now.
all right. I'll be right back, guys. Give me a second.
No.
Oh, they're sleeping. We're good. Everything's good. They're sleeping in the kennel. Do you miss working at the Cheesecake? I don't actually. I would. I don't think. Not. I don't think. I know I would never work for anyone ever again, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what happened was, okay. So they shut down the restaurant. Right. The pandemic happens. Boom. No dining anymore. We got to cut our staff. I had like 130 staff members in the kitchen, and we had to cut it down to like 5 people. Right. The Cheesecake Factory. They have a menu that's 250 menu items, and they make everything from scratch. So you don't cut the workload balance, you literally just cut the workers, right? And there's no time limit on the food because there's nobody waiting for the food. It's all done online. So they wanted me to Wednesdays were inventory days. So this is like my inventory days, right? I'd wake up at 4 a.m. At 5 o'clock, I'd do inventory. At 7 o'clock, I'd write the list, right? Put the order away, and then work a prep station, normally sauces and oven, and then greet all my staff when they come in at 9, all 3 of my staff members. And then I would divide and conquer the list, 11:30, and then I would open the dish area. And then at 11:30, I'd be like locked into whatever stations that was missing a hole. And I would do that shit all the time during the pandemic. And I just felt like, you know what? I'm like, I don't think there's any amount of money that you could pay somebody. What up, Chevy? That's gonna make you feel like valuable when you know that you're being taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless of whatever was happening, you knew like I'm getting taken advantage of. And I had like, you know, I had a lot of shares with the Cheesecake Factory, and I was thinking about it. I was like, man, dude, I gotta do 2 more years before I can like pull these stocks out, cash them out, or I could just say F it, you know? And that's what we did. I put my notice in, and we started in July, and we opened in August of that year. And August through December, we had already made that money that I was gonna lose with the stock options, the shares that they gave me from the past. First time I've seen you out of the kitchen. Thank you, I'm great. I appreciate that, Tony. Yeah, so you know, I put my notice in, and that was it, and I never looked back. You know, I even got people jobs there afterwards. Cheesecake Factory is not a bad company to work for. I just felt like the direction that they were going in, I didn't feel comfortable like standing behind that. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know what I'm saying? Like I could do those things. Like I'm an adult, what the hell? I can do whatever I want. Well, what's gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? When you realize that, damn, my wife and I were dashing on the side, and we were making like $1,100 a week. And it's like, dude, you're making $1,100 a week door dashing. Like they're expenses aren't, you know, your bills and your expenses aren't that crazy. So it was just something that kind of seemed like a no-brainer for us. All right, friends, if you're new, like the live stream, subscribe to the channel if you like cooking content, anything that's food related, restaurant related. We're gonna dive into some of these numbers from our past year, if you guys wanna check it out. All right, here we go. All right, friends. I'm gonna go just line by line if that's okay. All right, friends, as it stands today, we have published 537 videos in 1 year. I have a problem. Nah, I'm kidding. You know what? I learned in the beginning, when I first started posting. So what brought me into YouTube to begin with was my son. He told me, he saw this guy named POV Cocinero cook, right? And he's like, hey, I want you to check this dude, Cocinero. He's like, I want you to check this dude out and tell me what you think. And right away, I was like, oof, you know? Like, yeah, he's a good like breakfast short order cook. I said, but there's a lot of things here. And he's like, I knew you would say that. And you know, a little bit later, he actually bought me a GoPro for Christmas. And then he told me, he's like, hey, you should start recording videos and do POV content because you know how to do it, right? You worked at the Cheesecake Factory, you worked at corporate, you did a lot of these crazy things that people, you know, worked their whole entire lives to do, and you did it like you went from one job to the next working in these like high level roles. Like you could really teach people how to cook the right way, understand food safety, orchestration, anything that has to do with like cooking and food related stuff, kitchen stuff. Like I've literally been there and done that for a long time. So shout out to my son. He's the one that gave me the inspiration to even start in the beginning of last year. And then last year we posted our first video on January 8th. So the video that we posted on January 8th was actually a live stream, right? I think it was a live stream. I'll tell you right now. This is cool. I like this because, wait, what the hell am I doing? Sorry. Okay, yeah. So the first live stream, the first video we posted, 467 views, and it was an hour and 14 minutes. And we had transitioned because we were playing Halo on Twitch. And we transitioned to cooking. Biz, thank you for the high five. I appreciate that. Did you meet your wife at the cheesecake? I did meet my wife at the cheesecake. Roscoe, welcome in. Sorry, friends. I'm gonna read a couple things and then I'll read you. Dark, what up? Thank you. Yeah, so our first video that we posted, actually, I don't think it was the live stream. No, okay. So our first video that we posted was 29 minutes long, and it's got, since we posted it, it's got 2.1 thousand views, and that was 1 year ago. And the title of the video is called POV Restaurant Cooking, the award-winning Sugar Bones Tacos. That's crazy. That was a long time ago. 537 video, 37, because this one, videos later. Wow. Okay. That's crazy. Indian. Jeffrey, welcome in. Mad, you're Indian, welcome in. All right, friends, overview. So our videos. Okay, friends, as it stands right now, today, we're at 1,190,319 views. That is crazy. Whoa. I realized that looking at the numbers, the live streams alone have brought in 620K. The shorts have brought in 465. But actually, long form content is what I started with, and that brought in 104,000. I think it's really good for long form because the average viewer duration on a long form video is 6 minutes and 30 seconds. That's good. And then they accumulate. So think about this here. The way that YouTube's monetization works is if you were to, I have a question. What is your favorite dish cooking at your restaurant? Oh, I'm sorry. I said I would stop. Honestly, the esquite. I love making the esquite, the corn in a cup. That's right. Yeah, because it reminds me of when I was a kid in Chicago. We would go to the paletero, and they would sell the corn in a cup. And, you know, they put that parquet butter and the Parmesan cheese, and they sprinkle. And then just all that flavor together with the squeeze of the lime is just... I figured it out. I made the lime aioli. I created that. I found the best corn that I can find, and we kind of did it that way. So it's for sure like an elevated version of a corn, but for it to be so simple, it tastes crazy. Yeah, of course. So in terms of we've been, let's just say 1 year, okay? Wednesday was 1 year that we've been on YouTube. We have 1,190,319 views total. 620K of them came from live streams. 465K came from shorts. And then 104,000 came from long form content, POV videos. And the average viewer duration on those POV videos are 6 minutes and 26 seconds, which is really good. Oh, but what I was saying was, though, in terms of like watch hours and watch time, there's certain metrics you have to hit in order to become a creator on YouTube, a content creator where you can actually get paid to do these things. And just some perspective, right? I think you need 500 subscribers to go live. and then you'll need, I think, like 400 watch hours. Okay. My last live stream that I did with you guys yesterday has already, sorry, I'm clicking on it as I'm giving you this information. So that video yesterday that we did last night, that live stream alone has 386 watch hours, right? So one live stream could literally monetize somebody. Now, but do you see we've done 500 and something videos. So over time, if we're consistent, it compounds. Peaceful, welcome in. Do you know how to make fish tacos? I do know how to make fish tacos. What kind of fish tacos you like? That is pretty good, right? I'm just giving you guys the raw information, okay? I know Andrea asked, so we can come back to this. We can come back to this video, which is awesome. Thank you for the new sub, whoever just subscribed. I appreciate that so much. Okay, let's go back to the analytics. All right. So I'm gonna show you guys this too. So there's a dashboard to YouTube, and this is what we're looking at right here. Your hard work is paid off. Publishing more helped your channel get 537% more views than usual. Look at that. 420,000 views in the last 28 days. 6.1K. This is just like current, obviously. An extra 1,000 subscribers, and this isn't finished, but this is where we're at right now for January. Okay. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. How about that, okay? We'll talk about the money, because everybody wants to know about the money. So you can't make any money from YouTube unless you're monetized 100%. And then there's no like copyright strikes. Basically, I gotta, the copyright stuff, I just can't play music anymore for now until I get like the actual person playing the music for me, right? That's pretty good, huh, Christina? Thank you so much. All right, check it out. So since we started with all the total amount so far, we've made $2,743 on YouTube. I'll show you. Okay. But as you can see, everything's starting to grow now, right? A lot of people think shorts pay. They don't. So in a whole year of shorts that I've made, out of those 420,000 views that I made in shorts, $36.88. Watch page ads, these are starting to really come to life in the live stream space. We've made $285 on that. That's why it's important for us to not have music playing, to not get flagged, so that we can use the money that we, accumulate from YouTube to be able to reinvest into YouTube and get better lighting, get better cameras. Christina, welcome in. That is good, right? Yeah, ads, finally, And then in terms of memberships, we have 25 subscribers, 25 members. I feel horrible because I feel like I have not done, my effort in that has been non-existent, and I'm very sorry. And I'm gonna make sure that by the end of this month, I take care of all the members that have been around, who've hung out, and have stayed true to me. I really do appreciate that. That's just another level of helping out. And I really do appreciate that. I've just been so busy with the restaurant. I swear, I press record, you see me working, and then I unrecord, we go home. Yeah. J Mob, what up? Welcome back. So, shame on me, and I'm sorry. And I feel like I've given you guys the short end of that, and I promise you I'll make it up to every single one of you. All right? Supers and gifts, that's the stickers on the live stream. That's the donations. Thank you all for everyone who donates to the stream. You know, all that stuff doesn't go unnoticed. We really do appreciate it. We are extremely blessed. You know, even though we do have, you know, somewhat of a successful restaurant, my wife and I, we don't pay each other nothing. We don't get any money from it. You know, we just pay our bills. We might go out to eat here and there, but we are 100% like financially committed to this restaurant. You know, we have a restaurant, we have a mortgage, we have so many things we have to pay. You know, our bills exceed like $14,000 a month. So just that extra money that you guys donate to us, we literally use that money to pay off debt so that we can be in a nice financial position eventually where we'll be able to enjoy the fruits of our labor and be able to keep making content like we do. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that.
Turn this light on.
No, off.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So everything, like, you know, it's phenomenal. And then we had an Amazon, we did have a wish list on Amazon, and we did the math on that, and that was over $5,500 in donations through Amazon. Gifts through Amazon. So thank you so much. Christina with the tables, Andrea donating money, and you know, she got the knives, Biz got the knives, Andrea got, you know, a cooling rack, sheet trays, Green donated to the, Green donated the now live sign. She also donated a sign, an apron, and donated Sugar Bones Taco neon sign. So, and Biz pretty much, you know, helped me with my whole knife collection. So I really do, look, every single one of you, you know, every good deed, and I'm telling you, when we make it, you know, everything's gonna come back to us times 10, and I know that.
Hi guys. Chat, you guys, the people that have been in here since the beginning, you guys are like real life. We talk about you guys like on a day-to-day basis. When we're not at the restaurant, we're like, damn, like, Biz, I mean, about the regulars, you know what I mean? Green, Sarah, you know, we appreciate you guys for a million.
For sure. So we're just happy, you know, we're really grateful that everyone is just consistently hanging out with us, talking to us, chatting with us. I think the biggest thing that I really appreciate about the community is the fact that there are a lot of depressed people and lonely people out there. And I'm so honored that somebody would be able to feel comfortable enough to come into the chat and say, look, I've been depressed, I've been lonely, but this community, these people, you all make us feel so warm and welcome. And I just feel super grateful at the fact that we literally created this from nothing, right? Because I'd be still working at my restaurant, watching probably football on my phone right now. You know what I'm saying? But there's a there's a reason why all this is happening. You know, we're bigger. Whatever we got going on here is just so much bigger than ourselves. We're just tools. That's it. Yeah, my wife and I own the restaurant, Dilbert. So yeah, she works there too. Mark A, my biggest hype man. So, okay. And in terms of like, we have a store online. The store kind of synced with our Square online thing in terms of like the merchandise that we sell. But we're gonna revamp all the merch. We're gonna sell it for dirt cheap. We want everybody to get the merch. You know, we're gonna work with this other company that I worked with in the past with the Cheesecake Factory. And we're gonna be able to get a lot more product more consistently and cheaper at bulk, which in turn we'll be able to, you know, help everybody else. Sarah, welcome in. So we're working on a lot of things, friends. All right. Let's talk about, this is under the analytics. I love this. The audience part, I think is the coolest thing. Okay, check it out, friends. And we're gonna go all the way. I'll put the link in right here. I got you. Give me 1 second. See, I can do stuff now that I'm not juggling quintillion things. Do you sell the knives you use? Actually, no, but I do have knives that I got from Mossy Oak, and I'm gonna give them away to somebody. I just can't use them in the restaurant. They're not really. I don't know. They're just dangerous in my opinion. I can handle them, but I don't want anybody else touching them. We make Mexican food. We own a Mexican restaurant. It's called Sugar Bones Tacos. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the. Trying to get the link for the. There it is. Boom. Carlos. All right, friends. Here is the shop link. What happened? My brother's place is closed at 7 o'clock over here. That place should be popping. Whose place is closed? Our restaurant's open and going right now. Till 10 o'clock today. There you go. Okay, oh, so check it out. I want to give you, look, I want to give you all some insight. No, I'm not. I don't think we're gonna make dinner. I don't know what we're doing. Oh yeah, Brianna's gonna make our ceviche with shrimp. I know. I gotta. You want me to send you my music? What kind of music you listen to? I'll send you a link to my channel. High Life, what up? Okay, friends, check it out. These numbers are awesome. Okay, in the last 28 days, we've had 243,000 people check out the channel. That's crazy. In the last 28 days. Okay. Marguerite, welcome in. How? I'm starting to feel like you guys only like me for cooking. You better get to work. It's weird, right? Seeing me sit down. Like, what the hell? Hold on, I'm trying to find the audience section of this. Here we go. Here we go. This is my favorite. Honestly, this is my favorite thing. All right, guys, here we go. Do you ever visit back to your Middle East countries? I'm not from the Middle East. I'm Mexican and Puerto Rican and American. Alpha One, love the human that you are. Carlos, what type of POS do you use? We use for the analytics for the restaurant or for my YouTube channel? What the hell? Scotties. That's funny. Wait, Carlos, what kind of music? I don't know what you're saying. I don't understand you. Okay. Geography. Children. We're going to talk about some geography real quick, okay? Remember, 1,190,319 views we've accumulated so far. And we just hit our 1 year mark on Wednesday. Okay? So, in terms of the United States, except this laggy computer, dude. Okay, sorry. We literally have been shown to every single state. That is so cool. The number one state that watches the channel is California with 111. I'll just give you the top 5. 111,000. Number 2 is Texas with 65K. New York is 40K. Florida's 39, and Illinois is 23K. Dang. Look, these are gonna be the 5 places we're gonna go visit. This This is where we're gonna be. We use Square. We're gonna do a pop-up in California, Texas, New York, Florida, and Illinois this year. That's crazy. That's sick, huh? That was cool. All right. Texas. I know. It's cool. You know what you got to do? We're doing the Mark Zuckerberg thing. We're getting everything around it. Huh? That's sick, right? Nice. Okay, check this out, okay? The number 2 country. Hold on. Let me share some real quick. 1 second. I definitely want to see this. It's generating a spreadsheet. I think I broke it. Anyways. Oh yeah, can you open it? Okay. This is gonna blow your mind, dude. This is crazy. Come to El Paso. Listen. I didn't even know that. We've been shown this past year to 130 countries. That's nuts, dude. That is crazy. 130. But I'll give you the top 5 countries that watch. Obviously, United States is number 1. Number 2, I don't know, India. I might have to go to India and set up a shop and show them how it's done. That's crazy, huh? 33,000 views from India. Look at, I could dive into India, all right? YouTube's so cool. What's that? Sorry, I don't want to butcher this. Maharashtra is the number 1 city, the number 1 state that watches us. Karnataka, number 2. Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh, Kerala, and West Bengal. Those are the top places in India that watch the channel. That's crazy. We'll go back to it. If I butchered your city or state, my bad, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not from there. Okay, Mexico's number 3. That's what's up. Because I would love to cook some grannies under the table. I ain't scared. All right. Estado de Mexico, the city capital, state capital, 2,500 views. Mexico City, number 2. Jalisco, Nuevo León. I don't even know where that's at. Baja California, Guanajuato, Veracruz, and Puebla. Those are the top places in Mexico. That's so cool. All right, number 3 we have, or number 4, Canada. Hey, Canada in the building. Ontario is number 1 with 8,000 views. What up? What up, Ontario? Quebec, British Columbia, Alberta, and Manitoba. Chattanooga, no, I have not. I've been in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I drove through there. Cartels love you. Hey, I don't want no problems, all right? They're gonna have me like Jesse Pinkman in a warehouse making tacos, sweating, crying. That's crazy. Yeah, man, that's cool, huh? Yeah, I'm so blessed that I'm so happy that like India, Mexico, Canada. Check it out. I'll just give you a couple other ones, right? Canada, United Kingdom. United Kingdom actually has a lot. Let's look at United Kingdom for a second. Ah, it's crazy. England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. England, they mess with channel heavy. 16,000 views. Whoa, that's nuts. Monterrey. Oh, heard. Cook granny under the table. And I'll do it quick. Come on, chop chop. Cool. Jerry? No. How? Okay, friends. All right, you want another cool metric we're gonna talk about right now? Subtitles. Okay. Spanish subtitles, 13,000 translations. Sundanese, 5,200. Japanese, 460. Hindi, 31 times. Arabic, French, Indonesian, Russian, Portuguese, German, Hungarian, Polish, Thai, Bulgarian, Persian, Lithuanian. These are all the videos that people have watched where they've listened in a different language or read it in a different language. That's so crazy. Yeah, we will eventually. We'll do lechon, maybe some appetizers. Thank you, Thunder. Ariel, welcome in. Yeah, so that's crazy. Norwegian, Portuguese, Turkish, Hebrew. Yeah, that's nuts. And then like, let's see. I'm gonna tell you guys my most viewed of each category. Thank you for the subscriber, whoever just subbed right now. I appreciate that so much. Actually, I can see right here. Rodrigo, thank you for the sub. And Tresden, thank you for the sub. I can do everything on my computer. That is cool, huh? All right, guys. Obviously, we'll talk about some videos. Okay, in terms of views, my most viewed long form POV video is POV inside a top Mexican restaurant. That video is 39 minutes long and it has 5,800 views right now. Yeah, everything. There's like a dashboard that you can. What up, Bars? How you doing? I am. I want to tell you. I want to kind of explain. I talk about this all the time. I know everybody's probably annoyed with me at home and shit. But I think it's important if people are like really, if people need some inspiration to start making content on YouTube or on TikTok, babe, you know, you just gotta get in there, dude. This is the proof of compounding, working on your craft and it compounding. There you go. Okay, so my biggest video, 5,800 views, the POV inside a top Mexican restaurant cooking. 39 minutes, and that one was published on April 18th. So look, I haven't had a good video in terms of like breakout since April 18th, 2025. It's for sure a grind, friends. You know what I'm saying? All right, and then in terms of shorts, let's see. Yeah, so in terms of shorts, my most popular short is a Chinese fried rice ASMR video. And that one is 17 seconds. And that one has 32,000 views. And that was published in July. Does your wife have a channel? She does TikTok mostly. She doesn't do YouTube. She just made a YouTube channel. That's too bright. Sorry. And that one was published in July. And then the second one from that, April, August, April. So they're all over the place, you know what I mean? It's not something that just happens over time. It's just like really building that audience, okay? And then in terms of live streams, just to give you guys some perspective, you know, that live stream that we had on, where's it at? The live stream that we had on January 8th, what is today, the 10th? 2 days ago was my biggest live stream that we've had so far on the channel. And this is cool because I'm going to give you guys all the insight. Okay? Maybe not. It's not loaded yet. Son of a biscuit. It's still, so sometimes some of the videos they'll get posted and then it'll take a while for things to like catch up to it. But the live stream that we had the other day, which is on a Thursday, it got 35,252 views. It got 35,252 views on that video alone. It generated 106 new subscribers. It has 256 likes. See, that's a crazy video. And they've just been compounding since there. Obviously, this is not going to do as good because we're not cooking, we're not doing things here. But that's really good. And then on top of a little bit geared more towards like the fall of this past year, like I'd say August or September, that's when YouTube messaged me out. They reached out to me and they let me know that they wanted to put the POV cooking content in the schools all over the world. So I've definitely been seeing some of the money from that too. Yeah, the shirts are cool. This is the hoodie right here. Look, this hoodie's hard. Look at the back. How am I advertising here? That's crazy. Okay. So the trick is really just that compounding, you know what I'm saying? Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so, you know, I personally feel like I've figured out like the algorithm on YouTube. My wife and I have been really kind of working on it, fine-tuning it for a while now. And I really think I got it dialed in, especially in terms of like the cooking. So I started looking at better equipment. So normally when I shoot my POV cooking videos, I'm using my GoPro, right? And that stays on my chest with my chest piece, okay? It's really hard to film with my phone POV because the phone is awkward and it does this a lot, okay? There's no other solution to get the live stream vertical the way that I want it to be without using a third party application like Streamlabs. I can use Streamlabs and Streamlabs gives me like a larger, like a wider, it's called wide back camera view. The problem with that is that it gets distorted. And anytime there is an animation, it flags YouTube for copyright. So I'm gonna look into trying to get a GoPro that goes live on YouTube. Or maybe I gotta find a phone that's smaller or something. I'm not sure. Everything for the shirt, I think I paid this hoodie right here, even though, you know, there are hoodies, I think we paid at cost like $30. So whatever it costs on a website is just whatever the material is. It just, these hoodies are kind of old now. Are you receiving any residuals from your acting days on training day? How? I wish. Shit, I wouldn't be doing this. I would be cooking tacos, damn it. That's funny. That's really funny. So, you know, collabs help for sure. Collaborations help. We did a couple collaborations this past in December, and I'm looking forward to doing more. I just think that when the time permits, I really do feel like live streaming has really been taking off for me. So, and it's crazy because I was honestly in October we did a 31-day live stream, okay, and I was getting to that point where I was like, you know what, this shit's not working. I'm working hard and I feel like nothing's like coming from it, you know? Not in terms of like money and things, but I just felt like I was running in place. And, you know, Brianna's like, just try to get through this. And then, you know, if you feel like you don't want to do it anymore, like let us know. See, this is just in October, at the end of October. Yeah, Streamlabs is just funky. I use OBS. I have the laptop. Look, you guys literally have paid for this laptop. From I tell you, every single penny that we get from YouTube gets reinvested to try to make it better. and to work on it more. I have Rode 2 wireless microphones that I'm going to start getting connected and stuff. There's just a lot of things that I want to get done. It's just really hard right now because the number one priority is to make sure the restaurant's functioning, right? And we're not running out of anything and we're trying to maximize the sales. That's number one over everything. Then it's like, okay, how can we incorporate YouTube into this? And, you know, it's becoming a lot easier to stream every day and, you know, hit up you guys for a little bit, couple hours. Before I was exhausted after like an hour and a half of streaming. Now I can do it all day, no problem. Huh?
Do you know why this like it's not working the music on here?
On what?
On Apple Music?
On your speaker?
On my laptop.
Just close it and reopen it.
I am. Thank you.
Carlos, I'm not. That's funny.
You heard the last part?
No, I'm like reading. You said nothing.
I said thank you for nothing.
Oh, thank you for nothing. How? Oh, you're funny. So what I did notice though, look, check it out. So YouTube is kind of like, the term is like buckets, right? There's 3 buckets: live feed, live streaming, shorts feed, and long form videos. Okay. The more that you focus on one category, the more it's fruitful. Okay. Live streaming, in my opinion, is like the way I want to go moving forward. Obviously, I'll try to post as many POV videos as I can, but because think about this, right? That fried rice video that I made, the ASMR video, that video since July has given me, I don't know, like 40 subscribers, right? 45 subscribers. The live stream that I did yesterday, I got 96 subscribers off that live stream, off the 2 live streams that I did yesterday. It's like, why would I focus all this time and this energy on these shorts when the goal is to just, we're not doing anything different, right? We're just building that audience so that people can really see everything. And I think that's the way to go, you know? Yeah, see, that's good. No, we don't have a food truck right now.
Okay. I'm trying to get my music situated right now.
Babe, can you close that door, please? Thank you, Hans. Hans Gruber. Oh.
When does the game start?
In a little bit. Like 15 minutes. Like 15 minutes.
Thank you. Frank, you want me to close the door?
Yes, please. Thank you. I appreciate that, Carlos. Sick. Okay, so any questions about anything? If you have any questions about the restaurant sales, our top selling item in the restaurant, how many of those we've sold since we've opened, how much sales we've been at. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. You know, this is like really like behind the scenes for the next 10 minutes. Anything and everything you guys want to know. It just depends on what it is. The Angus beef that we use, it fluctuates a lot. It's at the cheapest it's been right now. It's about like $5.30 a pound, but I've paid up to like $7.20 a pound, and we go through 150 pounds a week of steak. Nice, yeah. Yeah, we should be. We should be around. Are you talking to me, Biz? Yeah, please come up there. Please come up here. There, I'm here. Come there up here. There, while there. Sorry. Just making sure we're good. I got you. Well, Christina, so the thing is, listen to this, right? So, I've done like hundreds of live streams, okay, and every single one of them has gotten flagged for copyright, and I wasn't able to monetize off that. So think about those Okay, so here's like raw data, okay? So there's this thing called C click through rate, CTR. So for every 1,000 views a video gets, you get paid a certain amount per 1,000 views, okay? So the range is from $4 all the way up to $15 depending on the content that you're providing, right? The food niche is a good category to be in because everybody eats food, right? Everybody likes food. Everybody wants to be a food content creator, right? But they don't have like the knowledge that comes with it. Unless they start off saying like, hey, I don't have the knowledge doing this, but I love food. And then it's like, oh, this person's innocent, you know? But so CTR for me, because of how, think about this, right? All right, there's like a lot of trains of thought here. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. But the CTR, click-through rate, for every 1,000 views you get on a video, you make a certain amount of money, okay? So I've had hundreds of live streams with a lot of viewership on it for a lot of time. So over time, that video can accumulate a decent chunk of change, right? So for example, like the video from the other day that had 35,000 views, we did, my CTR right now is about 1350. So let's just say 13, right? So you'll take $13 times 35,000, which is 35 thousands, and that's what that's what my AdSense would be. So I don't even know the potential of what I should have made or what I could make, because this week has been the first week that we've done it without being copyright flagged, right? So, you know, the growth can be exponential, and with that growth, honestly, we'll just be able to get out of debt faster, and then we'll be able to open another location, get another truck. As we don't need anything. We're not gonna, you know, when I worked for the Cheesecake Factory, we were set. Like I was set. But we went in debt opening a restaurant, and it looks like YouTube's gonna help us climb out of that debt. The Bears game's on Amazon Prime. Yeah. Let me know when it starts. Okay. So think about that click-through rate. Okay, think about this, right? So this is cool because this is all gonna segue together. I appreciate that. The trolls are good. We just feed them to the algorithm. I do mind you asking. No, well, I can explain it to you a little bit. I'm not going to tell you how much I made, but I can kind of give you like a range. So basically, executive chefs for the Cheesecake Factory get paid based on the volume of the restaurant, okay? If it's a $10 million restaurant, depending on where you live in the United States or in the world, you get a geological bump. Meaning like, if I live in, I don't know, like Des Moines, Idaho, or Dayton, Ohio, or Kenosha, Wisconsin, where the money flow isn't the best, you know what I'm saying? And then I move to New York or California or Seattle, where it's expensive as shit to live, they'll give you a pay bump. It's called a geological bonus. They'll give you an extra increase in your money every single month. But it's based off the restaurant's volume, okay? I worked for Corporate Cheesecake, so I had a different role, a different title. I did menu development. I did Pilot 6. I opened new restaurants. So I had a little different, but I was in the mid 6 figures. That's like the best way to say it. And with the bonuses and all the stuff, I was doing really. I could have retired with the Cheesecake Factory, but I just feel like money's money, dude. Money comes and goes, man. Your family, things that you build with your hands, the things that that are tangible, you know, because yeah, you can make all this money, but who's really making the money? Cheesecake Factory during the pandemic, they make $2 billion a year. $2 billion a year. And we're scraping by with that little stimulus money to try to just catch up on debt or pay the bills that we weren't able to pay because there was no work. You know what I'm saying? It's like what the rich get richer, you know? That's what I'm saying. Yep, that's it. So, you know, if they're willing to pay that much, you know, you got to know your worth, friends. If you working, I've been working in the restaurant industry way too long, and like I said, I was gonna retire with cheesecake. That was my goal, but then I realized I was like, you know what? I don't want to retire with a company that I don't feel comfortable retiring with. It's always gonna be something, dude. It's always gonna be the health department focusing on this. It's always gonna be new menu roll out this and this and this. It's like, why? Why do I gotta deal with that shit, dude? I've been working in restaurants my whole life. I've been operating, regionally operating, corporate, menu develop. Like, why do I gotta go backwards? I'm okay washing dishes and hanging out with you guys, you know? We're good, we're good. Think about it, perspective-wise, you know? Like, we bought our house, we had our car, everything. You know, my bills every month were like $4,000. I want more money. I wanted to live a better life. Now my bills are fucking 14,000 a month. You know, it's not really the life that I wanted to live, working to pay bills. You know, but I'm happy that we got to where we're at. You know, we're building a name that we can eventually sell one day, or always be behind and have somebody else operating it. See? Well, you know what? It's just it's perspective. We just have a unique situation. We started recording. I own the restaurant. I can record in the kitchen whenever the hell I want to. I can do whatever I want, literally. Even if the health department walks in, what are they gonna say to me? They don't run my restaurant, you know? So if I want to record all day, every day, I could do whatever the hell I want, you know? I have that unique perspective. I have that uniqueness to to the YouTube channel. Because a lot of people are very like, oh, I don't want to show you the recipes, or I don't want you to know what we're doing, or make sure you don't shoot this area because it's dirty, or, you know, like, nah. If you see something dirty, tell me. I want to clean it, you know? Even though we're in the mix 24/7, like, it makes sense. That's smart. Look, there's so much money to be made out there in this world today. You just got to get it. It's the truth though, right? You know? That's why I said it's like money doesn't matter. I'm just tired of paying. I'm just tired of being in debt, and I'm tired of paying bills. It's not how to live a life, friends. Like the money's good, but it comes and goes so fast. You know what I mean? Like that's where all these grades come from, owning a restaurant. Plus I'm getting older, but ooga booga. That's right. Yeah, I had my look. I developed this kid who was a line cook into a chef, a salaried manager. Okay, I did that. I did that for 11 people at the Cheesecake Factory. They know who they are, and I'm very happy for whatever they did in their lives afterwards, or if they're still fighting the fight. I feel happy with myself knowing that I put that stamp of approval on somebody, and I gave them that chance, and they're still killing it. Okay, but one of my cooks that was my cooks, I promoted him to a chef, and he's been working his way through the Cheesecake Factory ranks. Okay, and then he's like, yeah, man, he's like, I'm so close to becoming an executive, and I'm like, if you're so close to becoming an executive, you're just starting your career, dude. You're going to be there for the next 10, 15 years. If you think you're just going to work 5 or 6, you know, that's a big commitment. The commitment reward is very high. You know, you have to commit like this and that. And sometimes the color scales of your work and your personal life, they go like this. And if you drink, if you party, oh shit, you kidding me? And you're in charge of people, good luck. Yeah, it is. But you know what? You gotta learn. And the unknown is scary. And I know that the corporations know that. The employers know that, and they use that to their advantage. You know what I'm saying? I used to hire dishwashers at the Cheesecake. I'd interview dishwashers at the Cheesecake, and they'd be like, oh, this is my first job. And I'm like, I don't think this is a good first job for you. They're like, why not? I need a job. I'm like, you want to wash dishes at the Cheesecake Factory? Are you sure? You're going to be wet every night. You're going to lift heavy shit. You're going to get out really late. If you take the bus, you're not going to be able to get home right. Like all these things, these are all the cons, right? The only pro is you're going to get paid. Are you sure you want to go through with this? You want to retire and live la vida loca, not have debts, but not at the expense of my health. Yeah, exactly, you know. There becomes a time where moral values tug, right? And that's when adulting is like at its peak, when you have to make decisions that can really like change your family dynamic, your financials can be like the number one like cause of separation and divorce. And my wife and I have been working, we've been getting it since the beginning. We've been broke, we've had money, we've been broke again, but we have each other and we have God, so we're good. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what it is? When you start making money, when you start making more money than other people that you looked up to, and you realize that money is just like a lifestyle, it doesn't really like define who you are, you really stop caring about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, like, yeah, you know, we got a little money and stuff, we got a little this, a little that, but um, we would never stop doing what we're doing. We would never, you know? I watch these videos and they're like, oh, what would you do with 10 grand right now? I'd be like, fucking pay debt? What do you mean? Like, there's nothing that, like, it's imaginary money. It doesn't mean anything. Kickoff is ready? Okay. Amazon, dude, Amazon. Oh, you know what? You could download the NFL app. It's free, dude. NFL app. All right. Okay. All right, I'm going to wrap it up, friends, but here we go. The bigged news of it all, okay? And I want to hear this because this is 313. Thank you so much for all the new people who just subbed. I appreciate that so much. Okay. Laser focus, friends. Listen to this, okay? People say, look, I know there's trolls in the chat sometimes that talk shit and say silly stuff. It doesn't really affect me. It doesn't hurt me. I think it's just funny, okay? But listen to this, okay? Here's some perspective, friends, okay? Listen. I'm not joking. Look, I'm very ambitious, and when I want to do something, I'm crazy. I'm fanatical about it. There's something wrong with me. I got this thing in my brain. When I was a kid, I played basketball, and I was gonna play basketball. I feel like I could have gone really far in basketball, but I broke my ankle. So I started playing video games, and then I became a professional at video games, and then I became one of the best at video games, and then I started cooking. All right. So I've been cooking my whole life. I dedicated my life to cooking. All right. I'm also dedicating my life to YouTube at the same time. You understand what I'm saying? We're at 3,113 subscribers, friends. Today is the 10th. Today's the 10th? Today's the 10th of January. I guarantee you by the end of this year, we'll have 100,000 subscribers. I'm not joking. I'm not saying that because I'm cocky. I'm telling you, I'm going to get 100,000 subscribers. I'm not messing around. All right. We're at 3,113. Okay. Also, listen to this. This is why I say we're going to get to that next level. Okay. Because listen to the numbers, okay? It took me a year to get 1 million views. 1 year to get 1 million views, okay? Since then, we've already accumulated 250,000 views. Do you understand? We're gonna literally get 1 million views in 1 month. And then we can get it in, the channel's compounded so fast that I think after that 1 month of getting it, we can get it in 3 weeks, and then 2 weeks, and then 1 week. And it's just gonna keep going, you know, because of the community. Everybody shows up all the time. I show up to work, and you guys show up to watch. And there's no reason why we, right? You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, with the Cheesecake Factory, you know, we won a lot of, I won a lot of awards with them, and I left them all there at the restaurant, at all the restaurants that I've done, because I'm just not driven by that. You know, if I get nominated for a James Beard Award, I think it's cool, but I want to win. If I'm getting nominated for something, I want to win it, dude. I don't want to just get nominated. Like, what the hell? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna nominate me, like, let me get that. Like, I don't want to just like recognition. I don't need recognition. I'm not in it for that. That's why I go back to that thing I say when I tell people, like, I don't wear a chef coat. What do I need to wear a chef coat for? Like, in my previous jobs, I had to wear it because it had my name and my title on it. But all these people that have these like small restaurants and these small stands, I get it. It's cool. Like, you want to do that, you want to be that. But I feel like people are in love with the idea of being a chef, but they're not really like doing chef things, right? They're not creating. They're not fine tuning, improving, refining, innovating, right? They're just, here you go. Here you go. Oh, I don't want to work today. Here you go. Here you go. Yeah, there's a lot of times when I don't want to work, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to serve shitty food, right? That doesn't mean that I'm going to not care enough to be like, oh, here you go. Like, no, I still got to taste the food, because at the end of the day, this is like, if I'm the chef that you say I am, I want to make sure that everything that I touch goes out the right way. Integrity, food integrity, right? Making sure you're not selling shit that's subpar or not good. Like, that's why it's a good thing and a bad thing that we're a scratch kitchen, because sometimes it could be an advantage because we can whip up whatever whenever we need to on the fly. But it can also be a disadvantage because sometimes those specific products that we get are unavailable, and we can't just like buy a can of cheese sauce and heat it up. Like, we got to make the cheese sauce from scratch. You know what I mean? Heard.
Guys, you guys swear that I don't
Content.
work all the time. Literally, it's just that I happen to hop on stream.
I appreciate that, Christina.
But I don't work that much.
Piece of paper that gives me that title. Nice. That's good. But you know, you never look, if you're a manager and you're watching this, you should never have to tell somebody you're a manager when you're managing them. They should know. When you do that, in my opinion, you lose respect. I'm the manager. You have to do what I have to say. All right. Okay. Right? That means they don't respect you, and you need to figure out why, and you need to fix that. Not because you don't fix that through reprimanding them. You fix that by looking internally and saying, damn, some of these staff members really don't like me. Maybe it's my approach. Maybe I joke around too much. Maybe I'm inappropriate and I say raunchy shit you should never say at work or any place in public that's not, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes people just need filters, dude. That's it. Like, don't say stupid shit. Don't say inappropriate stuff. Keep your hands to yourself. Don't hug everybody when you come to fucking work. Like, what's wrong with you? You know, there's just like things like that you gotta tell adults. Don't touch each other. Don't say crazy stuff. Don't have inappropriate conversations amongst each other where other people can hear and be offended, because that's sexual harassment. You know, it's just like we got to put them through all the courses again, dude. Literally managing 101. Oh, let's get it. All right. So, friends, 100,000 subscribers this year, okay? The views, I don't even know. I don't even care. We just got to keep pushing ourselves. We got to get ourselves on the map. By the end of this year, I want to be cooking next to Gordon Ramsay. It's not like a goal or a dream of mine, but I know that that would be a dream of my dad's, and I definitely want to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be cool to stand next to Gordon Ramsay and be like, dude, my dad wanted to be here, but I'm here. You know what I mean?
You know what inspired me? There's
Nice.
the cabinet.
Let's get it.
And I'm like,
So maybe I might be on later on. I don't know. It depends. I might be sad or I might be really happy.
how's your guys' Saturday going? Hi, Valentino.
Eddie, I got you. Juan, thank you so much.
Saturday going.
About instant delivery platforms and the POS you're using at the restaurant. I could tell you right now. DoorDash is any online platform that you do, you can negotiate your percentage with them. It's not set in stone. Sometimes the platform people will come to your restaurant and offer you something like $500 or $250 here, $1,000 there. You need to read the fine print. Normally, if if a POS person is trying to offer you something for free, it's not for free, dude. All right, $1,000 free isn't $1,000 free. You're gonna invest $250, and once you invest that $250, the rest of that money will unlock for you to get the rest of the shit that you need. You know what I mean? It's all a scam. It's all a scam. We use Square. We bought it outright. The computer, the whole posi and everything costs about $2,500. And we negotiated with everybody. So DoorDash, I think we do 22%. Uber Eats, we do about 18% because we really didn't want to do business with Uber Eats, but they wanted to do business with us. So we had that leverage on them. And then Grubhub, we tried for a little bit, but Grubhub is terrible. Grubhub is not a good platform. Unfortunately, they're just not it. You know what I mean? What up, Kiko?
Hey, man.
You good?
Yeah, that's it for Christmas.
That's it.
Going down.
It's going down. Tried to tell me what to do because I was cleaning the counters and wasn't wearing my coat. She came up and said, "Did you forget what position I am?" Well, bars, were you guys open during business? Yeah. Grubhub is terrible. And the problem, look, the biggest thing with okay, look, I can understand if you got like a bad service, like, okay, they fumble the bag pretty often. What I don't understand is the accountability, right? If you mess up, rectify the situation. You don't even have an out-call center. Your out-call is a third-party center, and nobody solves anything. So can you remake that food? They're telling me on the phone. I'm like, I don't even know who you are, dude. Like, what do you mean remake the food? This is Grubhub. No, you have to resend the food in. I don't have access to that. Why am I talking to you right now? Like, why do I have to have those conversations? You know what I mean? Yeah, we were. Nice. Sorry, I have to get off soon, but... Yeah, so every platform takes a percentage. You know, eventually we want to get away from all the platforms because, like, here's some perspective. In December, we did $47,000 in sales. We made, like, $16,000 from DoorDash. You know how much we got after everything was said and done? Like $6,500, dude. We're putting DoorDash as whoever through college. They are making bank off of us, dude. It's crazy. That was Grubhub. That was the breaking point right there. They're just like not. They're just, I don't know. They're just not good. Yeah, dude. It's just crazy. It's crazy. I used to see the emails at Cheesecake Factory, and it'd be like $3,500 a day, $3,500 a day on DoorDash. It's like what on DoorDash? You know, they just make so much money. But you know what? Cash is king. Pay your taxes. Do it right. That's it. That's the best way to do it. You just gotta. Here's a rule. Here's a trick. Okay. So if DoorDash takes X, let's say 20%, right? So for every dollar you make, every dollar you make from DoorDash, they take 20 cents. So you make 80 cents for every dollar. Okay, think about this. So a lot of this is where restaurants are freaking scammers. Okay, think about this. You go to your local restaurant and you get a cheeseburger. Let's do appetizer, right? You go to your local restaurant and you get, I don't know, stuffed mushrooms, right? Or fried mozzarella sticks. Okay, and they're $5 at the store. They're $5 at this restaurant that you go to. But then you like them and they're on DoorDash and you go to look on DoorDash and they're like $9. It's like, what the heck? Why are they so much more? Oh, that's because DoorDash increases the prices. That's a 100% lie. DoorDash does not increase the prices at all. That's all restaurant driven. So the restaurants think that they're smart by increasing increasing the price of the item, right? What we're saying, stuffed mushrooms and mozzarella sticks. So I'm gonna increase this item by 25%, $7.50, right? Let's say it's $7.50. So, or even more, up to $9, whatever percentage that is, because the restaurants think that if I charge more, DoorDash will take their cut, and then I'll get my money back. But that's not how it works. DoorDash sees a $9 sale, a $10 sale, and they're gonna take whatever you charge, whatever you make the price is, they're taxing that. So the more you, I'm gonna make this plate $20 instead of $10. Then they're gonna tax your $20, not your $10. You know, it doesn't really look honest. It's not. It just makes the restaurant not look honest. That's it. You know, and that's messed up. And the restaurants won't admit it because why would you admit that? But we're not in the business to scam people. We're in the business to really get people in. So it is. Well, everybody got to make money. All right, friends, I'm going to get off. I got to go. Thank you all for tuning in today. We'll be back tomorrow at the restaurant at noon, all day stream. Thank you all. Go Bears. I appreciate y'all so much for hanging out. I'll see you soon, okay?